Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 2025 Boiler Gold Rush and Boiler Gold Rush International prep sessions. My name is Craig Johnson. I serve as the Director of Orientation Programs at Purdue University. And we are so excited to welcome you to our Indianapolis campus and get you all set for moving in our programming in just a few short days. Throughout this session, you're going to get a lot of information about the program schedule, about the move-in experiences. You're also going to see some orientation staff members on the call and connect with some of our campus partners, some of the folks that support our work really closely. This is going to be a lot of information, but hopefully a video that you can come back to over the course of the next few days and get you really prepared for and excited for what is to come. So we're going to start things right away by introducing one of our first partners. I want to welcome in Jeff Sieber from the University Bookstore. Thanks, Jeff, for coming on and talking all things related to BGR as we talk about our students in Indianapolis. Jeff's been a great partner in our work for many, many years and has been part of these 2 years in Indy as well. So, Jeff, could you tell the people how they might see you interact with BGR and BGRi in Indianapolis?
Well, hey, Craig, thanks for having me again. Always fun to join you every year. But yeah, kids we'll be distributing a shirt for all the kids that are enrolled at BGR Indy, and you can pick that up at check-in, and we'll be there handing those shirts out for everyone.
Yeah, that's great. You guys have been great about supporting Indy. It's a unique Indy specific shirt. And so really excited about the design reveal and all of that. And excited to have your team on site to share more about that too. So for students and family members that are part of the Purdue experience and, whether it's during BGR or after BGR, year or two down the road, what are some ways that those students and parents can connect with the University Bookstore?
Well, students can always come in our store in West Lafayette, but I know that's going to be kind of hard if you're in Indy. But you can also reach us at purdueu.com. You can get everything that we have in the store is available online there. And you can also reach out to us on via Facebook and Twitter and X and Instagram at Purdue Bookstore and all of those. So any of those ways would be a great way to reach out.
Perfect. Well, Jeff, we really appreciate your time. Thanks for being a great supporter of our work. We're excited to see you and the team in Indianapolis for BGR and BGRi. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks again, Craig.
And we have Carrie North here from Purdue Federal Credit Union joining us as well to talk all things related to our welcome of new students in Indianapolis. So thanks so much, Carrie, for joining the call.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. Well, getting right into it, let's talk about Boiler Gold Rush and Boiler Gold Rush International. How will our students in Indianapolis be able to interact with you or your team or other members of the Purdue Federal Credit Union uh, company, organization, family, however you want to share it? How
Yeah.
can they get involved with you during BGR?
Well, we are excited to be down there at BGR Check-in in Indianapolis. So you can check us out there. My team and I will be down there opening accounts on site. So you can stop by, and we will also have these T-shirts, which for every new student checking account open, we will get this awesome T-shirt to you. So it's got the little astronaut on the back. Pretty excited about that. And then our checking accounts also, we have no minimum balance and there's no monthly service fee. So it really is a great value. You'll also get this Purdue Pete debit card that goes with it. So that's pretty exciting. We will be able to mail that to you. So no worries there. So yeah, we're just excited to be a partner again and to be down there experiencing the Indianapolis community.
Yeah, and I love how you brought everything to show and tell us with it today.
Of
Everybody
course.
loves some Purdue merch, especially that vintage Pete that shows up on the cards. I know that's been a really successful ad for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So now once they get through, because BGR is a lot, so they'll see you at check-in. They'll hopefully they'll sign up for an account. Maybe they already have an account, and so they'll
Mm-hmm.
just touch base with you to see you again. What are some other ways that students and families can connect with you long after BGR is complete?
Yeah, so we belong to a network of shared branching and surcharge-free ATMs. So we have, I think it's over 5,000 credit union branches across the country, as well as 30,000 plus ATMs all over the country that are free to use with your Purdue Federal Credit Union account. So long after graduation or in Indianapolis, if you need something local, you can utilize that shared branching network. A lot of people do just manage their account through our digital banking platform. We have a robust app and digital banking on the computer that a lot of people are able to do most of what they need there. So,
That's great.
yeah. And as always,
And
check out our website, purdufed.com.
yeah, absolutely. Lots of great resources on that website, educational materials, and certainly of all the information about accounts. There's also some great partnerships at Purdue as well. You've heard a little bit about it through the 102 process, Boiler Financial Track. Do you want to talk a
Yeah.
little bit about Boiler Financial Track too?
Yeah, absolutely. So we partnered with Purdue to create a financial wellness program that is free for students. It's called Boiler Financial Track. So we're really excited about this. What it is there's a website that has a wealth of information. You can find it at purdufed.com/BFT. You can also schedule a virtual appointment. That's a one-on-one financial wellness meeting, if you will, and you can go through your budget. You can just ask questions, whatever it might be. It's a free resource for Purdue students. So we're really excited to help out the Purdue folks in Indy with free virtual appointments as well if they're not able to get up here. So
That's great. Well, Carrie, thank you for your time. Thanks for sharing the good words about Purdue Federal Credit Union. Hopefully, you'll see a lot of the folks that are watching today. But I know a lot of the work that we do in orientation programs would not be able to get done without the help and support that Carrie and her team provide. So we really, really appreciate that. Thanks so much for spending some
yeah,
time with us.
yeah. Thanks so much, Craig.
All right, take care. Thanks again to Jeff Sieber from University Bookstore and Carrie North from Purdue Federal Credit Union for talking to us tonight about how they are interacting with our great students in Indianapolis. So you'll see them certainly during BGR, but also throughout the experience as Purdue students and family members. So without further ado, we're going to transition now to talk about the move-in and check-in process. One of our great team members is going to help talk us through that. So I'm going to turn it over now to one of our associate directors, Virginia Johnson.
Thanks, Craig, for passing it over to me. So, hello, everyone. My name is Virginia Johnson, and I serve as one of the associate directors in the orientation programs office, specifically located at Purdue University in Indianapolis. And I'm here today with one of my great colleagues, Krista Pizzera, who is with University Residences. So, we're here to talk a little bit about move-in and what you can expect in just a couple of weeks here in August. So, Krista, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role.
Thanks, Virginia. Yeah, it's coming up pretty quick here, folks. So I just want to say a great big welcome to all of our Boilermakers and families. We are so excited to welcome you in Indianapolis for the move-in process and then to stay with us the whole rest of the year in Indianapolis. My name is Krista Pizzera, and I get to be the Director of Residential Life. That means that I get to work with all the professional staff and the student staff that help support our residents in Indianapolis in North and Lux Halls. And so we're here today to talk to you about move-in and some successful tips for planning and once you get there and what you should expect to see. So thanks for having me today, Virginia.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you. So before we get started, Krista, my first question is, what are the keys to a successful move-in?
Yeah, keys to a successful move-in, excuse me. I think just really paying attention to the emails that you are going to be getting from not only the housing partners, but also our Boiler Gold Rush partners and any of the other emails that are coming from Purdue University. There'll be tips on there as far as there'll be a pre kind of worksheet, almost virtual worksheet that you get to fill out with that toolkit. And making sure that you do that is one of the most key important things, because if you can get those steps all completed prior to coming down for move-in or coming over or across or up or in, if you're flying in for move-in, that's going to be really helpful. And then paying attention to the communication regarding move-in times and what the move-in process is going to look like, I think to prepare yourself is really great. Having your phone ready for move-in and to be in the queuing line is going to be helpful too. And then one last tip I'm going to say is communicating with roommates if you have them, and preparing what you're going to bring to make sure that it's going to help make you comfortable in your space and that it's going to be in keeping with our university residences guidelines and policies. Those are going to be some key steps that can help you be comfortable and ready for moving.
Awesome. Those are some great tips, everybody. So hopefully you're taking notes. But we're going to dive a little bit into the details now of move-in. So let's talk about Boiler Gold Rush International and Boiler Gold Rush Move-In. So Boiler Gold Rush International move-in will take place on Friday, August 15th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. So really almost all day, and you'll be able to select a move-in time within that window as long as you're registered for the program. For Boiler Gold Rush, you can expect a very similar time frame from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Monday, August 18th. And so, Krista, question for you is, what's the
Yeah.
process for moving in during BGR and BGRi?
Yeah. So you're going to get communication, receive a communication, Boilermakers, ahead of time that's going to say, okay, the day is the day, check in now on the housing portal. And what we really need you to do is go ahead and do that prior to getting into the move-in line at either North Hall or Lux to check in. And if you can check in, it's almost kind of like an airline check-in, if you will, to go ahead and check in and be ready to be in the queue. Once you do that, you're going to get there and they're going to ask you to show your check-in on your phone to prove. You're going to have like a green message almost, and that's going to let them know that you've completed everything we need you to do. It really, what it does is help us collect information as far as your cell phone number and contacts and that type of thing. And we need you to do that before you get there. Then once you get to either North Hall or Lux, you're going to follow the signage and you're going to be greeted by staff. We've got professional staff from Residential Life there, university residences. We've got volunteer faculty members and staff and student leaders from all across campus that are going to be there to greet you and send you on your way. And then as you get into the line, you're going to be watching for people to say, okay, pause here, get ready to move up. And then as they do, you're going to have a very specific amount of time to get some assistance during our move-in time slots to move in. And we just need you to listen to what the teams there have to say and what they tell you to do and just work through those processes once you get there. It moves pretty seamlessly. I'm pretty proud of the team. Virginia's got a great group of student leaders and professional staff there. And we're so fortunate to be able to be partnered with faculty and staff volunteers on campus that are there willing to greet people and help people unload, get to carts, move up into our spaces, and then quickly return carts and get back so we can welcome the next Boilermakers and their families. So
Right. Yeah, no, it really truly takes a village to help everyone successfully move in. And so we're a community that's really collaborative. So we're excited to welcome you. So really, Krista, to reiterate, folks need to have their move-in pass pretty much ready to go once they're getting into that line in their car, right?
Yeah, it's really helpful if you do that and to be showing up at the time you're scheduled. Thanks for giving me a chance to go back and kind of recircle around that, Virginia. If you show up early, you're actually taking somebody else's time kind of away from them. And we're having to maneuver around because we have a set amount of spaces and people scheduled to be able to help Boilermakers have that smooth experience. If we have 20 extra people show up in that time slot, it makes it really tricky for the people who are there during their time slot. So we really need you to adhere to that time slot and then have that check-in process completed before you get there. If you have difficulty and you're having trouble figuring it out, we'll pull you aside and do that and then put you back in line. But we really need you to get that done as quickly as before you get there, if at all possible, because it just makes it move smoother for you all. And then the additional piece of it will be that parking pass almost. It'll tell you exactly where to go and what time you need to be there, that type of thing. So go ahead and pay attention to that. It's got all your information on there for you.
Yeah. And if you're wondering where that moving pass and that parking pass are, it's all in your email inboxes, students. So check your Purdue email and make sure if you can print those things out, do that in advance. Otherwise, as long as it's on your phone, we'll work with you to show up on your assigned moving time as close to that as possible.
Exactly right, Virginia. And that housing portal for you is going to be a really great resource for you to have all that information in there.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the unloading process. So once you've gotten through your moving pass, you're checked in, you're moving towards the unloading zone, how long do parents and families and students have to unload and actually move into their residence hall?
Yeah, what we've got is during the times where we have student staff and volunteers available, we've got 30 minutes to be able to move this process along. And I think I hear you maybe saying to yourself, 30 minutes, how am I going to do this in 30 minutes? Well, if you listen to how we direct you, it really works out really well. We've got carts ready, we've got people ready. And so that's why we just quickly unload all of the items from the vehicles. We will send people up depending on the building. It may be passenger elevator versus belongings elevator. It may be we'll send you on your way, but then we'll have student leaders and we'll have volunteers that will be going with the carts, and then they'll be coming along, collecting the carts and then bringing them back so that we can let the next people come unload items and then go park their car. But it's real important that you let us go ahead and promptly and carefully unload everything, and then go ahead and move your vehicle where we direct so that we can keep the flow moving. If you leave your car there and walk away, it really makes it difficult for our next families that are coming in. And so if you could just really stay with the vehicle, let us unload, and then go and move and relocate the vehicle to the long-term parking, it really helps us out a lot.
For sure. Yeah. And for Boiler Gold Rush, we'll have plenty of volunteers, student leaders that will be leading your new students throughout programming, literally unloading any item that you allow them to touch into the residence hall. So we'll have BGR team supervisors. These are students wearing gold shirts day of, basically connecting with the driver, making sure that they know where they're taking the belongings to. So having that room number ready. And then team leaders who will be in different colored shirts, unloading and bringing everything in carts up into your residence hall. So really, if you don't want to move a thing, you don't have to.
You really don't. And I would say you've made a point there, Virginia, about the idea. I'm waving my pen as a waving a point. You've made a point there, the idea of having your room number ready. I really would consider it a personal favor if everyone would know what their room or apartment assignment is when they arrive, because that lets us know floor. That lets us know about what side of the building we're going to. And so if you could know that and have that memorized, that would be great. Even if you open it up right on your drive down or as you get into the queue to know what room you're going to, it just helps us to make sure that's done. The other thing that's in here, I don't know, are we going to talk about Crimson Card a little later? Are we going to, should I do
Yeah,
that?
a little later. We'll
I'm going
definitely
to
be
hold
getting
on
to
that
that.
then.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
The one final thing about the move in, move out pieces, I would say you would be amazed at the amount of packing materials that people bring with them. And so we'll have very specific directions on what to do with those packing materials that maybe your fan came in or a television or, you know, whatever came with. If you are not taking it back with you, where to dispose of it. And we really need your help disposing of those items and not trying to, we'll have actual directions of where to take the unwanted items or the trash to. And it just helps our service staff. It helps our RAs. It helps Boiler Gold Rush team leaders and everybody get up and down and back and forth in the hallway quicker in both of our locations. So I just wanted to mention that. So thanks in advance for your help.
Yeah, that's a great point. Okay, so how many guests can help every student move in? Is there a limit to how many folks can come and support move in? And then what's available to families when they arrive? Move-in cards, other things to really facilitate the move-in process.
Right. I mean, normally we see one vehicle for a student, and then that way, if they've got a person with them that can that the student can come in and be on their way to go with the belongings on up to the room or apartment, and someone else can be taking the vehicle over to the long-term parking. That's really helpful. As far as having like the whole family come, it's a lot of people. I know we're all excited for many of these folks. We're just very proud of them. But limiting the number of folks we have coming helps us keep space in elevators and in hallways for everybody to and from. If students do find that they don't have someone to help move their vehicle, please let the folks unloading know that, so that we know we're going to need just a little bit of extra time to kind of hold belongings off and watch them to be able to help with that. So that'd be helpful for you to let us know that when you're showing up.
Awesome. Okay, folks, so hopefully, again, you're taking good notes because we are going in detail as much as we can to make sure that you're ready for August. So it's also helpful to know that we have, again, BGR team leaders helping you unload. As long as you're arriving at your scheduled time, you'll have plenty of support from all sides to get you, settled in before moving to the next step, which is BGR check-in. And so that is my end of the shop. So after you've settled in, you've unloaded everything, you're going to go over to University Tower, which is the building right across North Hall. And so for those of you at North, super easy, across the street, you're basically there. Second floor is where you'll actually check into the Boiler Gold Rush program. And that goes whether you're an international student, domestic student, For either program, you do have to check in with us just to make sure you're getting your credentials. You'll get things like a wristband that'll get you through the entire program, a name tag, so we're learning your names throughout the entire week, and other pieces as well. Parents and families, you'll connect with Parent and Family Connections offices and other important resources on campus at check-in too. So you're more than welcome to come with your student to BGR check-in. So Krista, going back a little bit to the moving piece. So what happens if I arrive after hours? I miss my move-in time slot, my transportation is delayed, my flight is delayed.
Right.
What do I do at that time?
Right. We are still going to check you in. We are not going to have as many people available, of course, because the volunteers have probably gone home at that point. But we have had people who they arrive, they were supposed to check in at 1 o'clock, and for whatever reason, there was a traffic jam, there was an airport delay, that type of thing. We still want to get our Boilermakers in. We will have on-call resident assistants. They'll be available to help with check-in. They'll be able to locate the moving carts to be able to bring some of those down, to be able to assist students and just make sure they can get them moved in through the move-in process, or excuse me, through the either to North Hall or to Lux, but to get them and help them locate elevators and answer questions in that regard. So we're still going to have team members there. It's just not going to be the flurry. And it's probably not going to be 5 people unpacking your car. It's going to be team members that are going to be bringing carts too and being a resource in those evening hours.
Yeah, makes sense. And, while I would love to have our leaders there all day, they also have to prep for the
We just
program.
can't.
They got to eat, they got to rest. And so,
Well, and the team leaders, they have to program and rest, but they're still finalizing details and preparing for the rest of the actual Boiler Gold Rush. And
right.
our resident assistants are finalizing training during those times too. And so we're finishing those things up. So that's why we have the scheduled time slots.
Yeah. So we just ask for patience and flexibility with us, and, no worries if you're late. We will get you settled in. We're there for you.
We'll have signage available that'll direct you and on-call phone numbers.
For sure, for sure. A lot of these details, folks, also will be communicated from the BGR side. So we have a BGR final details email that will go out sometime the first or second week of August. And so make sure to check your email over and over again in the next couple of weeks so you don't miss important details from us and orientation programs, from university residences, and from many others that really are orienting you to your first week here on campus. Another important thing to note is that after you've moved in, you've then checked into BGR, know that your meals do start the day that you move into campus. And so you have access to breakfast, lunch, and dinner at Tower Dining located on campus. And so no need to fret about, eating and being hungry or anything like that. You have access to meals as long as you have your Crimson Card photo submitted to the website. So make sure you submitted your photos, students, for your Crimson Card and your Purdue Mobile ID. Both are required on campus to navigate all sorts of systems and services on campus. And so make sure that photo is submitted so that we have that in hand for you and you can actually swipe into the dining court without any issues. So with that, anything else related to after hours, Krista, that you would like to add?
I can't stress enough the importance of having the Crimson Card credentials completed and the photo uploaded. At North Hall in particular, that Crimson Card is going to give you access to your room. And if you do not have that completed, you won't have access to to access your key. And so all of those pieces are real important to make sure you have access to use, of course, get into your room or use facilities and then have dining access. So if you can please complete that toolkit prior to arriving, that's really beneficial to you all. Makes it so much smoother. If you're finding you have difficulty, please reach out so that we can help you with that. But please do check that. That's something you can do right now, right today, and go ahead and get that marked off the list of I know a lot of things, but this is one more thing you can complete and you won't have to worry about when you arrive.
For sure. Yeah. And if you're looking for those instructions, you can't find them in your inbox on the orientation programs website. We've archived that email under program updates. So feel free to check all of the emails that we've been sending out throughout the summer so that you can get caught up if you've missed anything from our office.
And then you made the point about anything else about after hours. I mean, I would just say we have a resident assistant staff. We've got many returning RA staff that have been there last year. They're going to be back this year. They've actually been there. We've got a handful of them there all summer that are preparing for your arrival. And so they're ready with activities. They're ready to serve in duty rotation and be ready to respond if folks do arrive a little later than they were planning on. And so we've got a good group of student staff down there that are ready to help folks out.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, just tomorrow, our summer BGR team leaders and some of the RAs will actually be having a bonding day.
Yeah,
And so they're getting to know each other, they're prepping so that, they're working together and they know each other, and then we can support you as best as possible.
we're
So
ready. We're
really
ready.
excited. Yeah. Okay, well, I think we're already at our last question. So,
Okay.
thanks so much already for sharing so much really, really great information, Krista. So, really, what would you say now? How do you summarize all of the key points that you've shared ultimately that will lead to a successful moving for our families and students?
Yeah. Just look back through your emails. Make sure that you've completed all the steps. Take a look at our university residences guidelines just to ensure that the things you're bringing are going to be within that, within those expectations. They're not going to bring anything that we don't need to have that we would consider unsafe for community living. And so please leave those at home. We don't need things like candles or alcohol or drugs or weapons in our spaces. It just keeps, we live in one big house together, and it's great for us to leave the things at home that could make community living difficult. But do bring the things that will make you comfortable, like your favorite pillow and your favorite, your best smelling laundry soap, and some fun board games so that you can make friends with your community partners and your community, other fellow community members, and get to know folks. Bring your best Purdue shirt so you can sport your Purdue pride as you go about the city in Indianapolis. It should be a great time.
Yeah. And if you don't have a Purdue shirt yet, we got you covered. We'll be giving them out at BGR check-in. So
Perfect.
you got at least your first Purdue official gear from us when you move in. So with that, just want to close us off. So thank you again, Krista, for your time talking today about move-in and check-in in just a few short weeks, not even a few short days from when this is happening. So thanks so much, Krista, and we'll see you at North Hall or Lux sometime.
We will. Thanks, Virginia. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care. All right, everyone. So now that we've talked about move-in, we're going to be talking a little bit about preparing for BGRi and BGR in Indianapolis. And so we're really excited to share the program schedules with you all today because we've been working on these since last fall. And so it's a really exciting moment to be able to finally share and get you all ready and excited for what's to come during our program this August. And so even more exciting is that Boiler Gold Rush International here in Indianapolis is our inaugural BGRi program. And so we're excited to do this for the first time here in Indy and really support our international students who will be transitioning over to Indiana and maybe the United States for the first time. So with that said, let's talk a little bit about what you can expect during Boiler Gold Rush International. So BGRi is a program specifically designed for international students and those that may specifically, be transitioning to a completely different culture. And so let's start with what you can expect starting with day one, which is move-in Friday, August 15th. So like Krista and I talked about, BGRi move-in and check-in will run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Students and guests are welcome at check-in specifically for BGRi. They'll receive name tag, wristband, neck wallet, all the things that they need to navigate the week. Students are checking into BGRi and BGR at the same time. So there's no need to come back later and check in for BGR if you're an international student or someone who's just joined us for BGRi because of your educational background in an international country. Additionally, as I've mentioned previously, parent and family connections will be present at check-in, as well as other on-campus offices like parking, specifically admissions, right? So if you have questions for Purdue IT, right, anything related to your transition, we'll be able to take care of you at check-in. And then you'll connect with featured local businesses and get that Purdue t-shirt that I talked about earlier, and much, much more. So that is Friday, August 15th. From there, the program actually kicks off with events and activities starting Saturday, August 16th. And so we kick off with our Boiler Gold Rush International opening ceremony. And so all students and parents and their guests and families are welcome to this event to really just get the lay of the land of what the entire week will bring for our new students and understand the schedule and really just get oriented to the week. From there, students will be going to international safety sessions. So talking about safety on campus, talking about setting up banking in the United States. And so we're teaching you everything you need to know about money specifically as it relates to the United States and how banking works here. And then later that afternoon, we'll end the evening with a social event, a BGRi carnival, where students will get to mix and mingle, do a lot of fun activities, and just relax really late into the evening and settle in, meeting some of their new peers and new friends. From there, we have Sunday, August 17th. And so this is day 2 of programming for BGRi. So students will do what we call a traditions tour, which is essentially a campus tour of students, of campus, and really just explore and navigate and get acclimated to the physical environment that they're now in. After that, they'll be presented through a session by the International Students and Scholars Office. And so this is where ISS for short will be talking about how to, stay, in compliance as far as your visa goes, and make sure that you're doing all the necessary things to be in good standing, and just how ISS supports students specifically from international countries throughout the remainder of their Purdue experience through events and programs throughout the year. And then lastly, we'll host activities called regional mingles. And so depending on where you're coming from in the world, you'll be able to connect with other students from similar backgrounds, meet friends, speak your native tongue, whatever it is that you're looking forward to, and just connecting with other new students. You'll have that opportunity on Sunday night. Okay, day 3 of programming for BGRi. So we are now on Monday, August 18th. And so this morning we'll kick off with an academics in the United States session and get you acclimated to academic life in the United States, specifically at Purdue, and what you can expect from your faculty and from your peers in your courses, which is why you're here studying at Purdue. From there, we'll go into a navigating culture shock session, talk a lot about some of the worries or excitement that you might be feeling and just navigating a new culture, and give you some tips to navigate your time at Purdue. And that is directly from other students just like you. And then from there, international students and scholars will be hosting drop-in hours if you need additional support. And then really we'll be closing off BGRi that Monday night in a really fun closing ceremony that we have planned for you. So that is all of Boiler Gold Rush International in Indianapolis. So hopefully you're excited. From there, we go into Boiler Gold Rush. And so our international students will transition into BGR programming, and then our domestic students will join us on August 18th for move-in. And so you'll see a little bit of overlap here. So Monday, August 18th is the last day of BGRi. International students are doing their programming while domestic students are moving in from that 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. window. Then they're going to an event called Meet the Teams, which is essentially where they meet their team leader that will lead them through all of the events during Boiler Gold Rush. Students will be in groups of about 10 to 15 other new students, just like you. That goes the same for Boiler Gold Rush International, and all led by a team leader. And a team leader is an upperclassman student with firsthand experience on campus. They might share your same major, might live in the same hall, and so they're very experienced. We have about 60 of them that are supporting our program this year, and we're really excited to have such just wonderful student leaders on our campus. Monday night then, domestic students, you can expect a trivia night. And so something really low-key to kind of settle into the night before a lot of the programming begins on Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday, August 19th, we will have a BGR opening ceremony, specifically in Indianapolis, to really welcome the entire incoming class at Purdue in Indianapolis in one space. really, teach you about what you can expect for the remainder of the program and just make you feel like you're a part of this community because you are. And so from there, students will go on campus tours or different activities across Indianapolis. And so you'll get to, try out some popcorn over at the IMAX theater and experience that, or maybe ride one of those swan boats in the canal downtown. So a lot of really, really fun and exciting activities that we have planned for you on that Tuesday afternoon. And then that evening, and this is really important, we will be hopping on shuttles to West Lafayette. And so to attend specifically our BGR kickoff event. And so we'll be joining the nearly 9,000 other new students in Purdue University, West Lafayette, and be welcomed as an entire Purdue incoming body. And so really excited to really get a chance to see you all in one space and just welcome all of our Purdue students all at once. Okay, so the next day we have Wednesday, August 20th. And so we'll kick off with our Boilermaker community session. And so talking a little bit about tips and tricks to building your own community while you're here at Purdue. Hear from really supportive staff members who are dedicated to really making sure that you feel good in your decision at Purdue and that you are making friends and connecting where you need to be. And then from that session, we'll go into our open house. And so several on-campus and off-campus partners will be tabling and connecting with students throughout pretty much that entire afternoon. And so you'll get free giveaways, you'll connect with different offices, ask questions, sign up for different events. A lot of things that are upcoming in the fall semester. From there, we'll have specific population welcomes as well. So if you're a Purdue Promise student or you're a transfer student, know that we have specific events and activities for you throughout BGR, specifically starting this Wednesday. And then that evening, we'll do some student mingles, similar to BGRi, get you connecting with other folks from similar states, different states across the US, and just, meeting people, right? Which is what a lot of our students say is really the most exciting part about BGR is really making friends, right? So you don't feel as alone in the transition to college, which can be really, really nerve-wracking to some students. So we got you. Okay, Thursday, we're almost there, friends. So we have in the morning a freedom of expression session. And so talking a little bit about Purdue's values as it stands as a university, related to your rights as a student and how to navigate, speech specifically in the classroom and outside of the classroom as well. We'll then talk about public health and safety. And so broader topics. So this is an expansion of the safety session during BGRi, led by both our Purdue Police Safety Force as well as our IU Indy Police Safety Force, because we're in partnership with them specifically in Indianapolis. From there, you'll get an introduction or specifically a college welcome, where if you're in science, business, polytechnic, or engineering, you'll be welcomed all at once by your academic college and really just connect with other people in your major and faculty, other folks that support the college here at Purdue. And then from there that night, our social activity is an illusionist named Michael John, who actually came to BGR last year, and our students loved him so much, we had to have him back. And so this year's students are in for a treat. Okay, from there, we are on Friday, August 22nd. So the morning will consist of a wellness session, and then later in the afternoon, really the focus is on academics. So talking about academic success in the classroom, again, a broader conversation and expansion from BGRi. And then you'll also get to hear from some of your very own professors or faculty on campus. And so they'll be hosting a faculty panel, answer all your burning questions that you may have as you get ready to start the first week of classes after BGR concludes. From there, you'll have the opportunity to attend an academic preview session, which essentially is a mock class of some of our high first-year enrollment courses, so likely a course that you have on your academic schedule, students. And so you'll get to see a little bit of a preview of that before the week of classes actually begins. And then from there, We'll have social activities. We call it Boiler Park Field Day. Think inflatables, snow cones, bunch of really, really fun activities to just get you excited and let you have a little bit of fun also during BGR. Because it's a busy week and we want to make sure you're having just as much fun as you're learning throughout the week. And then finally, our last day of BGR in Indianapolis. So Saturday, August 17th, we'll conclude with a send-off ceremony where really we'll recap the week and just, reminisce on the time that we had together, talk about what you experienced, reflect, and also hear from America's dating doctor, David Coleman, who's actually been a BGR staple for several years. And the students love him too. And so he'll be joining us for our send-off ceremony again this year. And then that evening on Saturday, we'll be hosting a White River State Park concert at the Celebration Plaza Amphitheater here next door to campus. And so we'll be featuring some of our very own student Purdue bands and other acoustic performers to really just relax, breathe a little bit before we go into, like I said, the first week of classes about 2 days later. Know that after BGR, there's no formal BGR specific events anymore. So really Saturday is the final day of BGR. And then several events and activities throughout weeks of welcome will be offered to students. And so you'll get a lot of emails about things that you can engage in to really start to explore campus beyond BGR. And I do want to call to an error as far as the date here goes. So this should be Saturday, August 23rd, not Saturday, August 17th. And so, yep, that is a typo. So I want to make sure that you all know that the last day of BGR is Saturday, August 23rd. So with that concludes my piece of this BGR Live. And so I'm going to pass it back over to Craig Johnson to close us off for the remainder of today's live session. Thank you all so much for joining us. See you soon.
Thanks so much, Virginia, and thanks to all of the folks that helped prep the Indianapolis Boiler Gold Rush and Boiler Gold Rush internet session tonight. Krista Pizzera and Jeff Sieber from University Bookstore and Carrie North from Purdue Federal Credit Union, of course, Virginia from our team in Indianapolis as well. We've just got a last few announcements for you before we officially close tonight. So I want to draw your attention to this slide. This is the last few things that we want you to do before you arrive to campus. That first one, and many of you have done this already, is complete Purdue 102. This is a great resource on Brightspace that will connect you with all the things that exist on campus outside of the academic experience. Super important information here for you to use as reference, not only before BGR, but also throughout your first semester. This will be open for you through the end of that. So in December, you'll have access to this. Check the new student task list again on the My Purdue portal to make sure that you don't have any outstanding items. One of those items is uploading the Purdue mobile ID photo. And then also we want you to take action on the Crimson Card photo. The Crimson Card is going to be how you get into your residence hall if you're living on campus, how you're eating meals with us throughout the week of BGR and after as well. And you'll use the Purdue mobile ID for all sorts of items throughout your experience as well. So make sure you get those ready to go, and especially in the case of the mobile IDs, make sure you get them to your wallet as well, not just in the in-between phase. Get them to your wallet as well so they're ready to go by the time you get into campus. Review the move-in website from University Residences, our final details messages coming out. Depending on when you're seeing this video, you will have them in your inbox or they will be coming in a couple of days, but we will send out a final details message to everybody about that. So you see a lot of communication through your Purdue email account, right? Hopefully you've gotten in the rhythm of that. We want you to stay diligent and consistent there. Lots of information is going to be flying to it. And so making sure that you've got this in an easy place to access and you're checking this daily is going to be a really important rhythm to get into as a new student. And then no later than the 14th of August, you're going to hear from your BGR team leader. That's an orientation leader that's going to guide you around throughout the week with other new students in your group to go through BGR and BGRi together. And then if you haven't followed us already, just go to Instagram. If you've got an account, follow All Aboard Purdue because we've got all sorts of information, the program updates, not only before, but then during the program, lots of videos and photos and insight on the things that are happening live on campus and both campuses as we go through BGR. So we want you to focus on those 8 things as the final 8 pieces to do before you get to campus. We're getting to campus pretty soon. So we hope that this has been a really helpful session for you to understand and process all the things that have gone into preparing move-in, to preparing the schedule, to preparing all of your orientation and pre-arrival projects as well. We appreciate your time. We appreciate the work you've done to get here, and we're going to see you very soon. So let us know if you have any questions. Thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you just in a few days for Boiler Gold Rush. Take care.